Hi, friends, fellow West Africans. We're coming your way again today. And we are using this opportunity to beg you, to ask you, to demand of you, please and please, let us save ourselves from this hell. The hell we've put ourselves into. Let's save ourselves, West Africans, from the mess we have put ourselves into. Let's take control of our own ECOWAS, Economic Community of West African States. In fact, this is supposed to be an emergency appeal because it looks like our numbers is going up, but not good enough. We should be talking about millions, at least 1 million. Because right now, if we have almost 400 million people just in West Africa, ECOWAS, then we need to wake up to the calamity we have put ourselves into. Now, the problem that really pushed me to make this broadcast has to do with the climate conference they had yesterday in Nairobi, Kenya. And I listened to everyone who spoke there. I watched the program from beginning to the end, and at the end I started trying to eat off my own fingers. Now, what is this? When they finished their shenanigans, you know what they did? I told you and I've warned you, this Africa, we need to take it out of our mind. Pan-Africanism, please. The new thing that will save us is no more Africa. Let's save ourselves, ECOWAS. When they finished that conference, John Kerry from America was there. The president of the European Union Commission, Ursula von der Leyen, was there. Uhuru himself was there. Antonio Guterres, United Nations, was there. The president of the African Union Commission, Mustafa or Muhammad Fakir, was there. And then there was the president, I think it's Salva Kiir, from the, what do you call this country, South Sudan, was there. And the chairman of the African Union was also there, I think it's Comoros, and some other people. And they had these so-called NGOs members were filled up the place. They all deliver speeches. And the guest of honor is from UAE, United Arab Emirates. And I listened to all of them. There's just one thing they did. And they ended it on that one thing. They were talking about investment, climate change, investment, climate change, investment. That word investment, I am an economist. And what I heard yesterday was nothing but fraudsters. Total fraud, total lies, total dishonesty. They were beating the whole thing upside down. And I kept quiet looking. Investment, climate change, investment. What is climate change and what is investment? These are the two things. Climate change is real. Nobody must fool anyone. The question is, what caused it? Emission, that is fossil fuel, look at the number of cars all over the world on the road, including on the African continent. We are not removing the African continent from it. We just want to get it right. But go to New York, go to Tokyo, go to China, go to Moscow, go to the whole of Europe, go to US, South America, you see cars on the road follow each other. Each of them is burning fossil fuel. Each of them is burning fossil fuel. So they are releasing this gas into the air. And the releasing of these cars is getting out of hand. So technically it's affecting the ozone layers. And so the heat of the world is more than what it's supposed to be. So that is number one, we agree. The second thing, remember where this fossil fuel and other things are coming from, environment. There's a kind of pollution or degradation that you need to where there's forest to destroy just to get resources, again to fit the industry. We will come to that, remember. So we are talking about industrial product and industrial waste. That is all the whole thing is talking about. How we source raw materials and how we dispose them of. That's all. That is all climate change is all about. The question is why and how? It's by what we call industrialization. Industrialization, technological advancement, serious competition. You look at China, cars have been produced in almost in a whole city. Nobody is using them because there's no demand for them, because nobody wants them. You look at Europe, they are competing. The Americans are competing. The Russians are getting up. Everybody. The victim here are those on the African continent. When industrialization took place, started about 300 or 400 or 500 years ago, we were victim of this industrialization. The African continent, the whole of the continent was victim. Raw materials were taken from their land and nothing but waste dumped there. These days, waste disposal is so industrialized that if you don't have that industrial and technological power, you don't have a chance. Right? Good. So, and the most vulnerable part of the world where this heat is getting to is on the African continent, because it is a source of raw material to some people and a place to dump anything they don't want there. So these guys are victims. African continent is nobody denying that. Now let's look at it. When they are dumping it there, remember when they were taking it away, in the language of Ruto himself, nothing was given to them. They just take what they like. French soldiers on the ground, American soldiers on the ground, the European soldiers on the ground, the British soldiers on the ground. Even now the Russians and Chinese are joined with their soldiers on the ground, intimidating people and taking what they want. Right? Good. Now that there is a kind of awareness that this thing is becoming a problem, when you hear Ruto talking like someone, I don't know where these people come from. He said he has increased the budget they give to schools for feeding, children feeding. And that the reason for this is most of the stocks, the animals, just people who are the parents of these children rear, almost about, he's talking about 500 or 1 million died. When then he then gave them the details across 3, 4, 5 countries around East Africa, and he said, you know something, this is now killing us. But what a man doesn't understand is that while in Europe 2 people could have 10,000 sheep on their farm, right? On the African continent, you have so many little things. That is their tradition. Yesterday, we were even talking about smart farming. Now, smart farming. Smart farming that people have done long. You want to start it now. And that the children whose parents have now lost their source of income will be given food in school. How does that solve the food of the parents themselves at home? Oh, children come to school, they eat. When they go home, they'll be hunger and their family. I think these guys are not serious. So they said the way out is investment. And that brings us to the issue of investment. What really disturbed me most is that they all were given pen and papers. At that conference, which the UN was there, US was there, EU was there, for them to sign African continent away. So this is how some people we don't know from anywhere will sit down and sign our fate and destiny away. What are they signing for? They say investment. Now let me come to the subject of today. Fake investment, I call it. Totally fake investment. Remember, investment is not about giving China money. No. China rather give people money. Why? Investment is not about giving Europeans money. Europeans give people money. Investment is not about we giving Americans money. America give other people money. What kind of fake investment is this? What is behind it all? Now, take it this way. I have food because I can farm. You want my food to eat or to do something with it. You have a party. And you come to me that you want my food so that you will do your party. And I tell you that if you want my food, then you need to pay me. And you say you don't have the money to pay me. Oh, you don't have money to pay me. What do you? So I want money from you, but you don't have money to pay me for my food. Then I told you that I have money to borrow you. Right? You came to borrow the money from me because you want to buy my food. And I said I've printed some papers called money. So you buy my food, but you don't have the money. Then I say, okay, you take my papers and buy my food from me. The evidence that I've given you my food. This is very simple. So if you who came to me for the food can plant your own food, you don't need to come to me. Yes, you don't need to come to me. If you come to me because you can print your own money, because you have produced your own food, because you don't want my food. If you don't want my food, you don't need my money. Now, the money I give you to buy my own food is investment. I call it investment. You can call it investment. Oh, I want a car for my job, a new car. I can't make a car. Then I go to the company where they make a car. And the company where they make a car told me that, boy, we want you to pay us for the car. And I say, I don't have money. They are working with the bank. They've set up the bank. They tell go to the bank and collect the money and come to us and buy the car. So the bank will then give them their money. I'll be working to pay them and the bank with interest. This is the stupidity of the first order. You can't solve your own problem. That's why you came to me. But must it be this complicated and difficult that Ursula von der Leyen, the president of the European Commission, is saying that they want to go into partnership with Africa on climate change. So what are they going to do? Their own children in Europe will be put into the laboratory, science, technology, research, and find a solution. Come up with it. We will use it to solve our own problem. And the idiots, the donkeys, and the monkeys from the African continent, they will need it. Then we will what? We will then tell them to borrow from us. They will, because they want what we have produced, they want it. So we will tell them to borrow the money from us. We print our money, then they borrow. We have what we call IMF, International Monetary Fund, and World Bank. They go there and borrow the money, or they go to China side, and then when they borrow the money, they buy our thing. And we, in return, whatever we do with them, because they are debtors, so we can take their resources. Africa, yesterday she said, Africa has got the resource. It's still a virgin land. The only reason why this African continent was colonized in the first place and everything taken is because of the raw material on the land, not because of the people. At the time they did this, we're all sleeping. Why today do Ruto and all of them, the president of Kenya, all of them except the one from he looked like the one from North Korea, South Sudan, wearing like those when we're town council, when we're young, you see those colonial masters, they've got certain hat they wear, the one Museveni wear, the guy was wearing, and he's standing there like when they were going to the meeting, they just, you two come, gate man come. I find that difficult. There is a saying, we grow it. I grow with that saying. The African must produce what the African consume. Is it the production of kinky? Is it the production of banana? We are talking about consumption of everything consumable, including spacecraft, aeroplane, trains, everything. We put our children into the laboratories. We subject them to the condition. Get 1, 2, 3 professors. Make sure they produce it while they are protected. That is it. Now see, the victim here to me is not those who sat down yesterday. We were not there. They went to sign treaty. The treaty became by force law. With that, they start to chase us and shoot us and kill us and be blackmail us and betray us and do everything they want to do with us, saying that we have committed ourselves. We were not committed. The only way we believe we are committed to anything as a Ghanaian is when the Parliament of Ghana is part of that lawmaking. We vote for them. And if they want to take it beyond Ghana, it must be in that ECOWAS. In that ECOWAS is where the ECOWAS that we have to vote for the members of the Parliament to decide what we want. So the problem is solved. The problem and the solution are now known to us. Yes. Let me tell you something. You see, money. When you see money, on money, something is written. We call money. Money is actually a promissory note that has power more than ordinary bank checkbook. No. The power of money, check is given to you by a particular bank. Money is a political lawful instrument given by the state, and the power behind that money is law. The purpose of the money is to allow the circulation of goods and services moving around within an economy in a lawful manner. If I give you something, you want something in return. So when you want something in return from me, right? And then I must give you something in return. Money allows us to do that thing because 90% of what we need to live as human beings are economic things. Of course, about 10 or 20%, let's make it 80%. 10 are social. I smile to my friend. I don't expect anything from my friend. I went to dinner with my friend. That doesn't mean I should force her into bed. No. We must do certain things. I gave my son food. I'm not expecting my son to say, Daddy, get your money. But when he goes to my neighbor, we have to go with money. And sometimes he can say, oh, Junior, take that one. But 90% or 85% of our life are economic. And when something becomes beyond social, is an economic thing, that is where monetary value gets in. When it is monetized, that's where we have to exchange money, because it allows us to go into a better relationship in a more organized way. And then we form the ECOWAS, that African Union mess. They signed yesterday. Musa Fakir was there. We have nothing with them. It is a treaty they are signing all over the place like ISIS. And we will be the victim. And this is exactly what is happening here. Why do we want to continue to make a mess by choice? How? If you have the choice, must you be stupid? Look, no one spent a day in their life in the modern world, a day, without spending money. Everything, 90% of what you are, even when you are sleeping in your house, money is going. So you have to end your life. The world has changed. Gone are the days where we are in the bush. You sleep and wake up, everything is waiting for you. Now things are going. Gas is coming to your house, electricity is coming to your house, transportation, your wife is going out, your children are going out. Every movement costs you money. So you are either earning money. If you are not earning money, then you are spending the money you have earned. If you don't have, what do you become? Nothing. We must free ourselves from these Shylocks. Let me tell you something. I believe in capitalism. I believe in free market economy. But I believe in lawful free market economy. I I do not have problem in my life. I don't have problem with the rich man. He put his food on the table, put my food on the table. We want to see how many plates of rice the rich man will eat. He can't eat more than one because we all have one stomach. He has 24 hours like me. Everyone has the same thing. 24 hours, what do we do with it? Maybe he's doing more, that's why he's getting more money. I'm maybe doing less, so I need to improve on myself. There's nothing wrong with that. Again, we need those rich people because those rich people will be the employers of labor. They are only their instinct. You can wear two watches at the same time. Your watch may be a little bit expensive than mine, but you cannot wear two watches at the same time. It's always one watch. If you wear two watches, we say, in fact, when I see girls with 5 rings, I always believe something is wrong with them in the head. You must be simple. The richest people, the only thing is that in the bank, it is registered in their name that they have control over certain money. And don't stop believing somebody has stolen your money. That's why you are poor. You are poor because you are not thinking. I don't have problem. I don't even have problem with corrupt politicians. As long as politicians want to be democratic, whether they are autocratic or when we are under military rule, we know how they vanish with our money. We remember Rolling School. He killed so many of them. What was the reason? He said he shot them. Why? Because he said they stole money. And the cocoa is missing. Because of cocoa, you line people up and kill them. That you will solve our problem. So I don't have problem with corrupt people. No. That's why I'm not worried about whether when we vote for direct election and we vote for members, because that's one of the questions people ask me. When we vote for people directly to go to ECOWAS Parliament, they will be corrupt. Yes, they will be corrupt. Yes, we are not scared of corrupt people. I'm not scared of corrupt politicians. I'm not scared of rich people. I'm not scared of powerful businessmen. I'm not scared of powerful multinational corporations. We need them. What I'm scared of is vulnerable politicians. A vulnerable politician is the one that will deliver us all to our enemy. Is vulnerable. If you are greedy, collect all the money and keep it to yourself. Look at Nigeria. They steal the money and they spend it on themselves. If the white man could steal the rest. So see, stealing, America started on the foundation of America to be there till God himself come back. It started with corruption, but they are doing something. In West Africa, we don't have an economy. We have 15 economies. Why? Because our definition of economy is wrong. Our definition of market is wrong. Our definition of industries is wrong. That's why you have my sister. What's her name? Arikana Chilomboza Kwao, my sister from Zimbabwe, but now based in America, married to a Ghanaian. She's a medical doctor and she's doing a wonderful job. Please, don't let us pull each other down, but we need to also educate each other. We are all doing similar things, but there are places and differences. They said they are proud to have the African Continental Free Trade Area. Go and check what goods are moving. Multinational corporations are on their land moving everything around them. They say African Continental because they are not normal. Free what? African Continental Trade. Act up. We tell them to throw that thing away. What is an economy? If you want a good trade, you need economy. Have economy, then talk about good economy. What is an economy? An economy is a community of people governed by the same law. An economy is a community of people governed by a common law. Not now. This is where the problem is. When we say ECOWAS doesn't have a common law, they say ECOWAS. What we have in ECOWAS are called treaty, and treaty are advisory. If anyone doesn't follow it, what you can do is to put sanction on. There's nothing you can do. unless you want to use the colonial version. When they were creating the protectorate, they would just go to one particular tribe, get the leaders to sign one or two things, and then they say, okay, our common, now we are friends, like America is doing with Taiwan. Now we are friends, we are brothers, and because of that, we are going to war to fight the next tribe. That's how they catch all of them. They use treaty to catch all of them. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. What we need is a parliament like European Union Parliament that will sit down and make real law. Parliament elected by the people themselves. And let me tell you something about the difference between treaties and law. When the president of a union pass an instruction, actually it carries a way of a treaty. Yes, that law can be a law when it goes through the whole system. And there are so many systems. People, if it's going to be democratic, unless it's autocratic. And autocracy doesn't work among so many weak countries. It doesn't work. You need one country, one. Then the bully on top will pass instruction and everybody follows it. That is autocracy. Democracy, you need to involve the people themselves, and where the people are involved, normally it's not at the position of the head of states. In democracy, laws are not made by the head of state. In a democratic environment, laws are made by the legislative house, the parliament. And that law is what creates everything, including money, including science, including technology, including industry. It creates everything. The law that have an input of the legislative arm of the people directly elected, not select. When you have selected, they become advisory power. And this is what destroyed the OAU. It's destroyed the African Union. It has destroyed the African Union. It continues to destroy the African Union. And now we are allowing it to destroy the ECOWAS too. Why do we have to sit down just to do this to ourselves? Please go to your like button. Remember, what is important here is the number of the subscribers and the like is not bad, but it's still the same old people who have already subscribed. Why don't you share with your friends? Call them, tell them to share, to subscribe by force. Call them, encourage them. Encourage your friends. Let us get ourselves in ECOWAS out of this mess. Go on our site, our YouTube page. Be part of this struggle. People will call me midnight. I'm sleeping. Kofi Ali, what do you want me to do? Do you want me to tell you again? Go and subscribe. The least you can do. You have the phone in your hand. And when can you imagine? We've been told this climate change, Africa will be helped. In fact, there are some community that don't have electricity. So electricity, nonsense. We don't really need to borrow money from foreigners, from Americans and Europeans and Chinese, just to give ourselves electricity. What are we? What have we become? What is the use of this suit and tie I wear? It makes me feel as if I hate myself because of your behavior. Let us wake up. We are all in it together. We can change this thing. You see, it's look a bit complicated because when the ordinary layman look at issues, they say investment is a bank. We will set up our own bank. We set up the Eco Bank. Foreigners are sticking it. Now they say African development, Abba. Then Qatari say they are coming to put their oil. Qatar, what's the name of that country? UAE, those Arabs. They don't respect, They are going to put money there. They put in one or something. You are only selling oil. You have nothing, oil and gas, nothing. In fact, I was talking to someone yesterday. That UAE, Dubai and all those things, the Arabs don't do anything. They don't do anything. But when you have a firm on their land, they set, you see, they use their oil money. They are not many. They are not up to 2 million. Then what they did was, anyone who is coming to set up any business, and they bring people who know what they are doing from outside, because they are not many, they have the money. Then they will import everything and set up. Now they're even setting up hospital and so forth. So instead of going to Europe for your medical checkup, go to Dubai. They will check you up and you pay them. All the doctors, Europeans have got too many doctors and too many equipment, so they then take them to Dubai. Then you don't need visa, serious visa to go there and get up and you pay them. The doctor, so it's like bringing Tesco from Britain to Dubai and fill it up, everything from Britain, and then get the British people to run it. The law is you must employ 2 or 3 people from Dubai. There is a quota from that country, from UAE, you employ. So they, 1 o'clock, they are going to pray. 3 o'clock, that first prayer, they have to go home and mooch their wife. Then they go and do 4 o'clock prayer. After 4 o'clock prayer, they come back to work. You foreigners, you are working on their land. When they finish, 5 o'clock, they came for 4 o'clock. They only come to pick their bag they brought in the morning to go home. Then they go, because 7 o'clock they are supposed to be in the mosque. Now 7:30 they will pray again. Then they go and sleep. Tomorrow morning they say, what kind of people are? Do we want to be like them? Haba. The money you are seeing is like oil money. Finish. And foreigners are there doing their job. And from what I learned, they even pay the foreigners, they pay the nationals 3 times what they have to pay the foreigner. And what is even interesting, and when they talk, you don't look at them because is their country, they are just 2 million, 1 point something million. They talk for themselves. And the Europeans like them because they've created Europe outside Europe and fooling the rest of us and Chinese. Everybody is supplying their goods there. It's just a market. They've created a supermarket. Don't let us compare ourselves with those people, and then they say they have now surplus money, 200 billion, so they want to put it in the African Continental Bank for our investment. Insult upon insult. We don't need their money. We will print our money. We'll print our money. We just need this law-making institution. You can see where you come in. Your vote. You know what is painful? It is you and your vote. Your vote, no one can take it away from you. And we say we want your vote. You vote. You be the voter. You be the one. You be the electorate. The way you are voting your country, vote the same way so that we choose those to go to ECOWAS Parliament. I think if anyone should pick a stone, should pick a club, should pick a stick, should pick anything and say, let us go after them so that we vote, I swear it must be you. Look, the mess we are taking on that African continent, Americans will never. America, everyone has got their gun at home. Every one of them. The reason why we in West Africa are not allowed to bear firearms at home freely, like they do in America, is because the Europeans who are cheating us and using their cronies, they know that they will get. Look at them in what's the name of that country? Niger. Standing and telling France to go, and France is still there. Hey, in America, I swear, you will hear some firearms. They will start, the guns they have at home is more than some of the police officers. They will shoot all of them. And then let us beg them, let us talk to them, let us tell them, let us instruct, then let's negotiate. And France said, we don't even recognize you. Who are they? I will never want to see. I don't really, I'm not comfortable with free firearms. Everyone hold a firearm. I like the European version. Yes, but we cannot continue to be subjugated and subjected to this torture. If people are hungry, they don't have food, they don't have clothes, they have nothing, and they are sitting down and looking. Their children are wasting away their wealth. They are wasting away. And they go and join a group to demand for their right. You call them terrorists. You call them terrorists. American soldiers are there, UN soldiers are there, everybody soldiers are there, shooting people on their own land. You deny them everything. Abba, how horrible can people be? But I always say, in West Africa, you can see, France have got so many military bases in West Africa. Can you notice that? Almost every French-speaking country. In East Africa, they just did a coup. Nobody mentioned France must go. Because they may not have military in Gabon. The heated place where people are becoming more conscious and getting up is in ECOWAS. ECOWAS is hot. the only fool, the only one who is not joining and making sure we march here and get what we want in the heat is you and I. We need to wake up. Don't sit down anymore. Do something. The least you can do. You see, on the social media is where we need to start hitting the bottom too. The least, it hurt me when you check the number. It's not bad. We are still under 50. It's not bad. But please, you go to Professor Lumumba, you go and check. The guy is talking about almost 5,000 subscribers. Yes, Dr. Arekana Chilomba Bao Kwao, the lady from Zimbabwe, American, the one who was in the African Union. Their number is too big. Why is our number so small? Why? Is it because we said ECOWAS? Please, just let us stop this joke. It's serious. One car. In fact, I'm going to make a documentary on the car industry. I will show you videos and everything, and I'm sure you wake up. For now, let's go to the market and let us see. Here we are, The Secret of Great Nation. Have you got your copy? Sovereignty. Have you got your copy? You see, most of you believe they know. That is the most painful one. They believe they know. And those who believe they know, and they know not. Yes, there was Christianity. No, there was Judaism. And some people feel no, something is wrong with Judaism. And Christianity came into people. You are finding it difficult because the one you know is not the new one. Let us wake up. There is now the New Testament. Go to our website, www.ecdra.org. Get a copy of our book. And remember, we share and share. Like, share, and subscribe. Please do the least you can do so that we can move on. You are the only one holding all of us back. On a final note, my humble self, Kofi Ali Abdul Yakin. Have a wonderful